Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a good start of your trading week. Mondays, they've been pretty good recently, right? I mean, if you ask me how was today, I'd tell you it was a good day, right? I mean, we're still moving sideways, not very much action, but this consolidation's fine. We may move sideways through this level, continue like I was speaking about before, but all in all, it was a good day. And if we take a closer look, take a look at the 30-minute again, and let's go over the after hours and pre-market moves again. So we had spoken about after hours being down, and then pre-market came up, and we were up. Now after hours is up. We're going to have to see where pre-market is, but let's just remember what's been happening. After hours is up, pre-market's up, market's down. And that story has been continued and told again and again over since this extension up, is a bit of an overreaction. I wouldn't say we're overreacting now, so we have to see if we can break that trend. Something to keep in mind. Let's see. We're closed over here, up above the 311.79 support we've been taking a look at. We'll have to see what pre-market does, but it's possible, like I was speaking about on the weekend, we get another red candle right here, and we sit right on the 308, and you can swing it and buy off support and sell off the resistance again. I mean, it's worked for ever since people have been trading. That's always worked, so there's no reason to stop now. So if you're a swinger, there you go. Your strategy's still there. Next up, we're going to take a look at just a few positions from today. So let's jump into those. Taking a look at Peloton first. Nice big 4% move today. We were up a few more percent, but the bids just couldn't keep up. And so we closed right here at 53. Again, all-time highs. This is going to continue going up. So if you didn't get in when we got in down here, you're going to be missing out. Taking a look at the next big position that moved today. CORT. I had spoken about on the weekend. We had got back into this trend. So when I tracked this breakout, that's what we were looking for. And I was speaking about we're going to get a big move. Here it is, 13% on the day. Took some winnings up here. I always like to take some winnings if I'm approaching the trend line, just because of the way, the premiums are going to work out. Get some extra money off that, but I expect this to continue to go up. So didn't sell everything off there. Taking a look at the next position, eBay. So these flags, they've been a little bit iffy, right? But it looks like we're finally about to have liftoff on eBay because we've turned this 48.80 into support now. And we have a lot of room here. No resistance. There's nothing up here. You could make a case for a little bit here, but we're going to move through that supply. So we'll see how that goes. Taking a look now at everything that we opened up here with today. Spoke about on the weekend. So Monday open. NEM. Pretty nice move here. Gapped a little bit. Not too much really, but the bids are there. So still up 2% on the day. Next up, CGNX. Really nice candle here today. Getting this 57.66 support. We have a really nice range now, as in when I spoke about the video. So we can move through this range very nicely, nice and quick. Taking a look at Chegg. Well, here we are. We broke right through the resistance. Got it as support now, and it's going to take off. So you had to get in there. Let's take a look at KPTI. This was a nice fun one here today. So the bids came in real early, and this was up. Let's say I think it was 7% or so. Yeah, so a little over 7%. And then here we are. We moved all the way here. So we had about 10% move on the day. And so we broke about even here today. But again, this moves extremely quickly. So I expect us to really take off there again, get in this trend line. And then just Facebook. Nothing really happened today. Sitting against the resistance. Waiting for that to go ahead and break it. And so now let's take a look at the new positions we're going to be entering tomorrow. Taking a look at today's breakouts, starting with ALT. Now this isn't something you'll usually see me trade, but since we're now up in this range, I'm going to go ahead and let the technicals do the work. And so you can see that we came out of this range here, but now what it looks like is that we broke this trend line here. You can see these two converging trend lines forming a triangle. And so what I would imagine, we're going to get right back up into this trend line. And so we're going to take a look. So let me go ahead. This is open here, so I'm not worried about that breaking out. And you can just see how this pattern developed. Got your highs getting lower and your lows get higher. And here's your breakout. And so what I'm expecting is again to climb up here. We have some time to get up there. and this thing can move very quickly as this is a very new territory. There's not going to be much supply, but let's see if we can take a look and find something. Put the cross on here. So resistance wise, let's see what's our next bit. I would say right on where we closed is a resistance. I'm not going to put it in there because we're already there. Actually, you know what? Let's throw it in there. Might come in key. So right where we closed. Let me just put it on the magnet. Okay, so there's 818. Taking a look at the next spot here. Really rate maybe this tick here. Let's put that in. Let's see what we got here. Oh, don't have it on. Throw that in there. So you can see how these tick marks here are touching it. So you get some supply there. But again, very local. So hard to gauge completely. In terms of support, let's see what we got down here. Probably about right here. 750, was that 754? Sure. So we'll put that in. So in terms of where this is going, let's find a target price. We do need to come across these, turn them into support, but I'm going to imagine this is going to move pretty quickly. Let's go ahead. Something around in here, I'm going to say. So let's say like 1110 or something around there. So ALT targeting 1110. Next up, taking a look at B&O. This is going to be a macroeconomic play on top of the technical side of things. So WTI crude closed above 40 for the first time since March. That already set off a bullish indicator in my head that I wanted to get into something on the equity side of things. So entered the US market, Brent oil side, a little bit more of a premium there. So we're going to take a look at the head and shoulders that you can see here. And so you had this huge downtrend. Again, this is set up from the massive price fluctuations we've seen in oil. We had price wars with the Saudis and Russia, and then the biggest price increase ever, like the last 20 years something. And so it's been pretty volatile. And so now we're in this nice downtrend, and we had this nice accumulation from this head and shoulders pattern. And then now you can see that we broke over this resistance, which is really what I look at when I take a look at when I take a look at head and shoulders. What I look for is this break over this resistance here. So you can see the resistance that was set. And now that we broke over it, even though it wasn't the biggest breakout, this is a very good indication that we are going to be taking off here. And on top of already, as I said, the macro news, this is what I expect. I expect this uptrend to continue. Hard to really see this graph because of the price. But so you can see kind of the open territory we have here. And if we take a look for the next bit of resistance, I mean, take a look at this gap down that we had. This is a 22% gap down from here. So we can't even start speaking about resistance until, we can make up some things, because we can go back and find some supply. So we can look around here. So maybe up here. So just keep that in mind. In terms of support, let's take a look, see what we can find. Switch back over. Let's see what we have here in this local area for some support. Probably right around here. It's a good mark. So let's throw that in there. About right here. That takes a nice little average of some of these wicks. You get these wicks here. So that looks good. And then I think there's probably some more that we could probably note, just because this could move a little bit more. Let's go ahead and mark maybe right there, 955, sure. So a couple of wicks in there, good amount of supply. So there is a nice support level here. In terms of, well, again, this is going to be support now, but I'm just going to indicate that that was resistance that we broke out of. So we have a good amount of support here in terms of supply, and so I'm expecting this to take off. In terms of a target, again, it revolves really around this gap down here. So what I would say is I see a lot of supply right in this area. So I'm going to go ahead, let's target 16 to be conservative. So B&O targeting 16. Next up, taking a look at GDX. We gave oil some love, now we're going to give gold some love, as gold is on a pretty nice bull run right now. Again, we're looking at the equity side of things. If you look at gold, it's approaching a 1-year high, could be breaking 8-year highs if it continues its bull run. And so here on the equity side of things, we get this nice 4% jump here today. And so you can see that this trend line that we had here, we had a consolidation in here, but you can see we broke out of this trend line, these two convergent trend lines. And so this should mean, a nice continuation of, an uptrend. Again, this range that I provided is quite large because, again, it's really not, in terms of GDX, it's not as much about the trend lines as much as a range and understanding what's happening on really the back end of, especially just thinking about gold, the price of gold. And so you can see this consolidation that did happen because we did have this uptrend. And just think about, how gold works. It's going to continue to get good value. And so what I see here is that with this breakout, we don't need to think about what's down here or up there. We just think, well, the bullish case is good. And so I'd like to get a piece of this, get some points. If we take a look at the supply side of things, let's see if there's anything that's really going to hold us up. In terms of supply, maybe right around there. So we do have some immediate supply, probably like right there. You can see these ticks. And so maybe immediately right in here we have some and need to break that. But I think we do have good support. We consolidated, so we formed some really nice supply down here. So just taking a look at that, I'm just going to spitball some things out here. Maybe about right there. I can lower that a little bit. But right there, you can see all these marks here. And you get some more right up here, in this area. So really what I see is more, again, this is a macro kind of view, but I'm using the technical to understand how I want to, send in some bids here. And so there's a couple things that I'm going to look for in the morning at open is that, I would like to trade off of this range. So I'll see if this bounces off here. So you always want to, you want to buy off of support, sell on resistance, and then once you break this, turn this into support, buy off that. So I'm gonna be careful about buying here and then getting a drop. That's always a possibility. So what I'll do is I'll probably set some limit orders in the morning. That's probably the safest way to do this. But again, gold looking bullish. And in terms of a target, I'm going to be looking for above right around here. So I'm going to be looking probably around 40 or so because I do think we're going to climb higher than that because we're looking for this uptrend to continue. So GDX targeting 40. I have a couple more tickers that we're not going to look at. You can take a look at these on your own. Not as bullish about these. I didn't find that many patterns here today. These do have pattern breakouts. So if you take a look at those, you can see those. So I hope you enjoy this. I don't usually go into the macro side of things as much. That is a domain that I do enjoy a lot more than even just looking at the technical side of things, thinking about how the economy works. But again, this is all economic based as well, supply, demand, your supply levels. And so hope you enjoyed some of these discussions here, and I'll see you guys in the chat. And, let me know how these videos are doing for you guys. If anything you'd like me to change up. I'm trying to speed these ones up a little bit, these daily ones, let you be able to get through the content a little bit faster. So let me know. See you guys there.